Hey, you, I know that you can do more than you do now. You have unlimited potential. But you have to learn how to exploit it. You have to work hard. Now get your ass up and do something. No more days off. No more internet. No more Facebook. I don't even sleep. I work for my dreams 24/7. And you can do the same. Now face your fears. Because pain is temporary. Okay, so this kind of videos are popular on YouTube. These motivational videos are made like that to raise emotions within you, like excitement of change. Yes, I will change myself. But soon after you close the video, that excitement starts to die, and you end up doing nothing and remaining the same person. So why isn't that working? Well, maybe you want that change, but your mind doesn't. Your mind wants two things. It wants to save energy as much as possible and to keep you away from dangers. And changing yourself implies risks and a lot of energy consumption. And that kind of stuff is not enough to convince your mind that it is worth it. Okay, in this episode I will speak about the sources of motivation that I found interesting and also important. So let's crack into it and find out what fuels our actions. The first source of motivation that I am gonna speak about, it's motivation from fear. It's not a good way to motivate yourself or others, but sadly it's still very common. It is used by bad parents to inflict fear into their kids in order to do what they want. That's also used by company bosses to their employees. Also the same. Let's go to a more detailed example. Okay, you are in a very bad physical shape. You are very unhealthy. You eat a lot of crappy food, a lot of bullshit. You surf the internet all day or play games, and you realize that you have to make a change, to do something, to work out, to eat more healthy, to eat vegetables and good food. But you procrastinate, saying, I'll start from tomorrow. And tomorrow, guess what? You'll say again, I'll start from tomorrow. But if someone points a gun to your head, telling you, if you don't do something with your physical condition, I will kill you, you will do it right away. Why? Because your mind sees that as life-threatening situation and decides that it's totally worth the energy consumption to do that change. You see? Anyway, I see this kind of motivation pathetic, inhumane, and also not very effective. Next source of motivation is motivation from lacking. Also not ideal to be motivated by this one, but most people are. A good example will be a guy that is working a normal job, like cleaning the floors or working in a supermarket, or even working at a computer in a company. He doesn't do that because it's his life purpose. He does that because he lacks money. I mean, I haven't seen a barman being like, high five bro, here is your coffee. No, he's like, here's your coffee. Yeah. You see, but in this case we often don't have a choice. We have to make money somehow. Let's see another example. You want people around you to like you. but you are not very afraid of what they think about you. So you are not motivated to please them by fear, but you still want them to like you. So you are trying to get their attention because you lack their attention. You see. Okay, you have to see if you are motivated by lacking, and as much as possible, try to replace it with the following source of motivation. Okay, that concrete is actually very cold, so I will stand on my feet. The following source of motivation I found as the best one. Doing something because you like it. Motivation from passion. Um, let's take an example. Learning to play piano. That implies a lot of energy consumption. Or in my case, doing acrobatics and big jumps. That implies a lot of risks. But your mind decides that it's worth the energy consumption and the risks, because simply that activity means a lot for you. You see. How to spot if you are motivated by passion? Well, very easy. If you do something and the time simply flies away, you are very engaged and present. You do that activity motivated by passion. And of course, you become very good at that thing. Go for your passion, regardless of what others think. Um, what will you gonna do with singing? You won't make money from that. You'll end up on the streets. Go to med school. That thing will bring you money. Bullshit. If singing is your biggest passion, and you really know that you are talented at it, you will find a way to become one of the biggest singers in the world and make a ton of money. Next one, it's motivation from guilt. Well, sometimes we are not in the mood to do actions, even if we are motivated, if we are passionate about them. And instead, we do things that we see them as not right. In that moment, we sense a feeling of guilt that motivates us to do the right things. For example, if I eat too much chocolate, or I don't do workouts at least twice a week, I feel guilty about myself, and that thing motivates me to do the right things, even if I'm not in the mood, even if I don't feel like doing them in that moment. I start doing workouts and stop eating chocolate, motivated from guilt. Okay, let's go further. Motivation from curiosity. We have this one since we were born. Look at the babies, how curious they are about the world that surrounds them. Curiosity is essential for them. That fueled them to learn how to eat, how to walk, how to speak, and so on. So actually, curiosity made us who we are. And it is still very important for grown-ups. There is always something there ready to be discovered. So never stop being curious. Okay, the last one. Man, this is a big one for me. Motivation from suffering. When you suffer so bad that your mind sees that as unbearable, it will do something about it. But people don't embrace suffering. They try to kill it through alcohol, smoking, drugs, sugar, shopping, TV shows, relationships, religion, crying to others' shoulders, gaming, and so on. These shelters will make you feel good in the moment, but in the long run, it will just extend your suffering and make you feel even more miserable. Even sports. I used to do jogging to get rid of the intense social anxiety that was haunting me for years. But not even that worked. After the endorphins were gone, I was starting to feel the anxiety again. Social anxiety appears when you are very afraid of what others think about you, and you have a very bad self-image, and it's manifested through stomach pain, rigid body, sweaty palms, negativity, bad thoughts, lack of concentration, and more. So pure suffering. Not a single shelter worked for me. So my mind decided to change. It was worth the energy consumption, I think. Well, but when my anxiety finally started to dissolve, when I turned about 20, I was totally a different person. Better body language and social skills, better awareness, higher awareness, better self-image and self-confidence. So suffering worked for me. Another interesting fact, this thing gave me a big passion for self-development, and now I'm still developing myself, motivated by passion, not by suffering anymore, and that's awesome. Look at the most awesome people in the world. How did they manage to be like that? I bet they went through a lot of suffering and bullshit that made them stronger, more mature, and more aware of their actions. Another interesting fact, when I finally stopped to oppose the pain, it started to decrease in intensity. For you math lovers, I have an equation. Suffering equals pain times resistance. So my advice, stop running from suffering and embrace it, and use it to as a fuel to become a better person. Okay, that's it. Of course, there are more sources of motivation, but I found these ones interesting and important. If you know more interesting ones, leave me a comment with that. If you found this video helpful for you, share it to your friends, and subscribe this channel to see more videos about it. Okay, I'm signing off, and I'm going home because it's fucking freezing here.